Good day, everyone. This is the report of Group 7. The title is Text Information and Media. Text information. Text information can be written in script using the Roman alphabet or a different script that is appropriate to the language of the reader. Text information or textual information can be written in the language most appropriate to the reader. For example, Japanese, Chinese, and Korean. Textbooks are using their own language. Creators of text information. Readers are influenced and persuaded by the power of written words. A reputable and well-organized material or written work is a collective effort between writers and members of the editorial team. So number one is author. Someone who writes books, stories, or articles on different kinds of topics. However, there is a difference in the focus of the. So the author is the writer of a book, article, play, or other written work. Number two is writer. A writer is more associated with writing literary works like poems and short stories. So the writer is a person who uses written words in different writing styles and techniques to communicate ideas. Mao na siya writer. Number three is contributor. Like a writer, the contributor spends time writing articles about topics that are of particular interest. So, ang contributor is someone who takes part in something or makes a contribution. Number four is a columnist. Someone who writes and shares his opinion, insights, and commentaries about social or political issues. So, ang columnist is a person who writes for publication in a series, creating an article that usually offers commentary and opinions. Number five is blogger. A blogger is someone who writes personal opinions on topics or issues that interest them. Their work can be seen and read in online journals or websites. So, a blogger is someone who writes regularly for an online journal or website. Number six is editor. Someone who coordinates with the author or writer in planning, reviewing, and revising content for publication. So, ang editor task is to coordinate with the layout artists to ensure that all corrections are carried out from start to end. Number seven is publisher. The publisher works with a team of writers, authors, and layout artists and decides on the type and theme of the material to be published. So, a publisher is a Microsoft desktop publishing program that's included with a Microsoft Office suite or as stand-alone software. Classifications of text information. The different sources of text information was presented in the previous section. Print media, such as books, newspapers, and magazines, contain various information. Text information is classified into two, fiction and non-fiction. So number one, fiction. This refers to stories that are products of the writer's imagination. Fairy tales, methodologies, and legends are examples of fiction texts. Most works of fiction are considered as forms of literature. So, fiction is any creative work, chiefly any narrative works portraying individuals, events, or places that are imaginary or in ways that are imaginary. So, maotoy fiction. Number two is nonfiction. Text information is classified as nonfiction if it is based on facts and reality. Example of nonfiction's works are biographies, news, and scientific researches. So, nonfiction is any document or media content that attempts in good faith to convey information only about the real world rather than being grounded in imagination. So, mo to siya non-fiction. How text information is produced? So, text information is produced through the following steps. Number one, the writer selects the topics or an issue worth writing about. Number 2, the writer does a true gathering of information about the topic. Number 3, the writer constructs an outline of the topic and composes the draft. Number 4, the writer goes back to the drafts and develops it into a full text. Number 5, the writer turns in the article to the editor or publisher. Once text information is produced.